Hello, this is Eva the Elfpire, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reading over the second half of Denims' response to complaint in regards to Ethan Klein's copyright infringement lawsuit. I would go over the first half, but honestly, it's pretty boring, it's repetitive, and it's a general denial of paragraphs 1 to 87, so not really that interesting. What is far more interesting is the 18 affirmative defenses that Denims has decided to use in her response to complaint. Now, for those who want to know what an affirmative defense is, what types there are, the likelihood of the stated ones actually, how, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely they would be to actually get through and a judge would consider them. I'm actually going to be linking this video and redirecting it to Legal Mindset's video on the same topic, because this is just going to be a verbatim reading. He's going to get into the nitty-gritty for you guys, and he has a big PP for you guys to see as well in regards to it. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the 18 affirmative defenses of Denims. Affirmative defenses. Without admitting the truth of any allegation set forth in the complaint, defendant asserts the following affirmative defenses to the complaint and each and every cause of action purportedly stated therein. Source affirmative defense. Failure to state a claim. The complaint and each and every cause of action set forth therein fails to state facts sufficient to constitute a cause of action upon which relief can be granted against defendant. Second AD, which is just abbreviating for affirmative defense. Fair use doctrine. The complaint in each and every cause of action set forth therein is barred in whole or in part or damages otherwise limited based on the doctrine of fair use under 17 U.S.C. Section 107. Third AD. The complaint and each and every cause of action set forth therein is barred in whole or in part to the extent plaintiff granted an express license to any alleged direct infringer's use of plaintiff's copyrighted work. Fourth affirmative defense is implied license. The complaint and each and every cause of action set forth therein is barred in whole or in part to the extent plaintiff granted an implied license to any alleged direct infringer's use of plaintiff's copyrighted work. Fifth affirmative defense is unclean hands. Plaintiff's claims are barred in whole or in part by the equitable doctrine of unclean hands. 6 AD. Waiver. The complaint in each and every cause of action set forth therein is barred in whole or in part by the doctrine of waiver. Seventh affirmative defense, estoppel. The complaint and each and every cause of action set forth therein is barred in whole or in part by the doctrine of estoppel. Eighth affirmative defense, justification, excuse. Any of defendant's actions taken with respect to plaintiff were justified and or excused, thereby barring plaintiff's claims. Ninth affirmative defense, consent. The complaint in each and every cause of action set forth therein is barred in whole or in part to the extent plaintiff expressly or impliedly consented to the alleged acts and omissions by defendant as described in the complaint. 10th affirmative defense, innocent infringement. The complaint and each cause of action therein is barred in whole or in part, or damages otherwise limited as to defendant to the extent any infringing activity by defendant was innocent. 11th affirmative defense, no injury or damages. The complaint and each cause of action therein is barred in whole or in part, or damages otherwise limited as to defendant to the extent plaintiff suffered no injury or damages. 12th affirmative defense, good faith. The complaint in each cause of action therein is barred in whole or in part, or damages otherwise limited at to defendant to the extent defendant acted in good faith and without any intention of injuring plaintiff. 13th affirmative defense, inequitable conduct. The complaint in each cause of action therein is barred in whole or in part, or damages otherwise limited as to defendant as a result of plaintiff's inequitable conduct. 14th affirmative defense, unjust enrichment. Plaintiff would be unjustly enriched if allowed to recover to the extent as alleged in the complaint. 15th affirmative defense, latches. The complaint in each and every cause of action set forth therein is barred in whole or in part by the equitable doctrine of latches. 16th affirmative defense, failure to I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to laugh, but these are getting ridiculous. Okay, 16th affirmative defense, failure to register copyright. The complaint and each and every cause of action set forth therein is barred in whole or in part to the extent plaintiff failed to properly or timely register copyrights of the alleged works. 17th, oh my god, are you kidding me? 17th affirmative defense. Lack of notice. The complaint in each purported claim for relief therein is barred in whole or in part to the extent that plaintiff failed to provide defendant adequate notice that defendant's acts infringed upon plaintiff's copyrights. 18th affirmative defense. Reservation of additional defenses. Defendant reserves the right to assert additional defenses as discovery and investigation of the facts continue. Wherefore, defendant prays for judgment against plaintiff as follows: that the complaint be dismissed with prejudice and in its entirety, that plaintiff take nothing by reason of the complaint, that defendant be awarded her costs and attorney's fees incurred in defending this action, and that defendant be granted such other and further relief as the court may deem just and proper. Dated August 14th, 2025. Let's see here. Demand for jury trial. If you don't use it, you lose it, so this is just that. Demand for jury trial. Defendant hereby demands a trial by jury on all issues and causes of action triable by a jury. So there you guys have it. Those are the 18 affirmative defenses of Denims in regards to Ethan Klein's copyright infringement lawsuit. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell as hard as you possibly can, and I'm going to go ahead and send you guys over to Legal Mindset's video, and you guys can laugh with me when he inevitably brings up how ridiculous some of these defenses actually are. With that said though, I hope you guys have a good one, and we will see you next time.